Hey, what's good, guys? It's your boy Tom back with another video, and on this message, I want to be talking about how we should all be avoiding obsession, with anybody or anything. Yeah, first of all, I know obsession comes from Satan because he's been obsessed with God for years, ever since he got kicked out of heaven. Like he keeps stalking God and just with what he's doing and stuff, and he's just been obsessed. Just like King Herod's been obsessed with ever since Jesus was born too. I'm glad I've gotten better at not being obsessed with other things or people because it's a much better look to not just to show people and God that you're not obsessed. It's a better look to God and to people. And plus, not being obsessed is a great impression where you talk about different kinds of things. As I know it ain't good where I've seen people only talk about one thing when you gotta mix up the topics from time because it's a great way to avoid obsession. And it feels great. Feels great to have that look on you to God and to people. And even me, I used to be obsessed with all these different kinds of people and things, but I guess I might have had an obsession spirit that was in me, and I'm thankful for Jesus to set me free from it. You know, just like Jesus has set me free with other stuff like I had problems with in the past, because I was also even obsessed with my own problems, as even my mother told me I was fixated on people who did me wrong. And it was so true because, what they did to me, it got me traumatized and worried what people would think and stuff. Like, when someone does me wrong, I feel so embarrassed, like I have to do something to get my integrity and image back. Because I know I've taken some stuff too seriously and personal, like it's the end of the world or like it's the end of my life. Where I felt like people would shun me if I didn't do anything about someone, outdoing me or outsmarting me. Even though throughout a lot of my life I felt like they were going to think different of me. But I guess a lot of people have a bit of God's character in them where even if a person made someone look bad, they'll still be their friend and not shun them. And that's that's God's character right there. And I've dwelled on my problems for years when I was living in the worldly and secular life. But until I came to God, He set me free from my problems about worrying about what people think. Because that was true, and a lot of people told me I worry about people think too much. And my friend Keyshawn said the other day, if you focus on your problems, they can become an idol. Because Satan did have me obsessed with my problems for years, where I was stressing for man's approval and for a good image. That's why I wanted to get revenge on people for my image to make me feel a lot better about myself. And even my friend Dave Rose told me a few times, I let what people say take over my life, where I'm glad most people, including worldly secular folks, are able to let things go and move on with their lives. And even my mom said I had a problem letting things go, because don't get me wrong, that is a curse from Satan, since he can't let go of the fact that God kicked him out of heaven, and he's been obsessed with God ever since. Or he'd be stalking God at times, but I'm glad God's approval matters a lot more than man's approval, because in the end, it's about what God says, since He's our Creator, and He's our truest judge, and knows everything about us more than anybody, including ourselves. And I know I've thought to myself at times that I know myself better than anyone else ever would, because I've seen people misjudge people when they don't even fully know them and their lives, where they just assume things without investigating. And it's also about how we live our lives for God and how we think with our mindset that lets us into heaven to be with Jesus Christ and His other great people forever. And that's why now I'm so not ashamed and not embarrassed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, regardless of what people think of me. Because I got to do my part to please God, because pleasing Him matters the most. Even Jesus said in the book of John, you will be hated because of our love for Jesus. And Christ also said, if the world hates you, it's hated me first. But it's been the other way around for me, where I was getting more hate from people when I was living in that world, secularly. But anyway, I'm going to shut this video down so you guys have a good night, and see you next time. And God bless.